Big shields, small sword, smaller PP. Hi, in this guide I will try to explain how an optimized rotation that some of the best players in the world use for high-end content. I will also explain while showing you the rotation itself so you can directly see how it flows and explain the reason for every action taken. This is A. Levine and this is an optimized slow Paladin rotation guide for 2.50 GCD. There are a few rules to follow for this rotation. First, always use Requiescat and Goring blade inside of FoF. This is because on top of giving 4 charges that increase the potency of all magic rotations and allowing you to use Confiteor, Requiescat itself also deals damage of 300 potency. While Goring blade is one of your hardest hitting skill that deals 700 potency of damage. And both of these skills share the same cooldown with FoF of 60 seconds. That's why both of these skills are absolutely necessary to be aligned with FoF. Second, use all Requiescat charges for Confiteor. While you can use it on Holy Spirit, it's best to use Requiescat charges for all 4 Confiteor combos to hit maximum potency, as those 4 charges increase the damage dealt of all magic skills, including Confiteor combos. Third, use Expiation and Circle of Scorn on cooldown, as this too is your primary OGCD, and losing usage over time by not using it on cooldown will result on a massive difference in DPS. Fourth, use both Intervene charges inside FoF if you're not saving it for a mechanic. While Intervene is a useful tool for closing your gap with the boss, you must remember that it also deals damage, which means it benefits from the FoF buff. Fifth, use All Atonement Charges. While getting a consistent rotation per 60 seconds is possible by dropping 1 Atonement Charge every minute like my 6.3 guide stated, overall it's a potency loss outside of FoF burst window. Therefore, to achieve maximum DPS, it is necessary to use all of your Atonement Charges. Sixth, outside of FoF, do Fast Blade to Riot Blade immediately after gaining Divine Might from Royal Authority instead of using your Atonement and Holy Spirit directly. This will allow you to execute 2 Holy Spirit inside of FoF if it's available. I will explain it again in the rotation demo. Hardcast Holy Spirit at -2 seconds for pre-pull and pot at the second GCD. Use all 4 charges of your Requiescat for your Confiteor. Make sure to cast Holy Spirit that you generate from Royal Authority inside of FoF if possible. While the standard opener is 1-2-3 FoF, the Paladin opener is very flexible and you can go 1-2 FoF, 1 FoF or even pre-pull FoF depending on the encounter. After Royal Authority, don't use Holy Spirit or Atonement that it generates immediately. Instead, use Fast Blade to Riot Blade so you will be ready to use Royal Authority immediately after you use Holy Spirit that has been generated by the previous Royal Authority. This will allow you to execute 2 Holy Spirits on the span of 3 GCD, which you can fit inside of the FoF buff window. In a full uptime situation, the 2 Holy Spirit burst window will occur on the 1st minute burst window and the 8th minute burst window. Also, use FoF on cooldown with Requiescat and Goring blade inside of it, as holding it might result in DPS loss most of the time. The rest of this video will demonstrate how the rotation works. Use both charges of intervene like so inside of the FoF window if you're not saving it for a specific mechanic that requires you to use it to have full uptime. The difficult part of this rotation is the fact that it doesn't really loop, so you will have to always be aware of your available GCD and press FoF on cooldown. If you're having trouble with this rotation, I have another rotation that loops each minute and is easier to understand. And although it deals slightly less DPS, it is still a very viable rotation for most high-end content. I'll put the link down in the description box below. Pot here for your second burst window, but it's preferred to use it on the 8th minute with the 2 Holy Spirit bursts if the encounter allows it, like P11S for example. This is the 8th minute burst window where you can do another 2 Holy Spirit inside of FoF. And that's it for this video. Please consider subscribing if you find this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. And that's about it. See ya.